Hockey players, here is a question I get a lot and I see a lot, and it's never corrected. How to hold a hockey stick. And yes, I'm wearing a trash bag under my shirt because I like to sweat when I work out, and I was just working out. But here's how you hold a stick, right? So I've heard there's different ways, right? I'm not saying one way is the right way, but I will say one way is the absolute wrong, incorrect way of doing it. And so the way I usually teach kids is with the top hand, right? So first thing first, most important part, I think the more important part is our top hand than our bottom hand. How we hold the stick up top. I see kids hold the stick like this all the time, and nobody ever corrects it, all right? You see a kid hold the stick like this is wrong, all right? And let me show you why. Because if I hold my stick right there, this is about all the wrist mobility I have, right? I move my stick to the proper part, look how much more wrist mobility I have, right? So that's step one. I'll go through a couple different ones that I think I'm okay with, all right? But going with this too, like if you're hitting someone, you get to the ages where you can hit and things like that, and you hit somebody, especially someone like me with your stick like that, been there, broken ribs right here because of that. You better be ready to fight because they're not going to be very happy because of that. How I like to teach kids to hold the stick is pinky off. I know that some people even go 2 fingers off at the top. I usually just recommend a pinky off. All right, and the reason being, hopefully I can get that on camera, I can now use my palm to maneuver the stick, right? Whereas if I was here, I can't move my stick forward, backwards. Here now it's almost like on a corkscrew almost, right? So I've seen people, and I don't have a problem with it, 2 fingers off, right? Because then it's just a little bit further up the hand. I usually just say pinky, just because for me it's a little bit more comfortable. And this isn't the end of the world, right? Where you got your stick wrapped around. But again, it goes back to how much can I move my stick now, holding my stick with the pinky on the end versus my pinky off, right? And that's simply me being able to roll my wrist back and forth. Hold the stick the right way. Second part, where your bottom hand goes. I was always taught an elbow and an inch, right? So here's my top hand, elbow, boom, and an inch. I go about an inch down that way. Obviously the bottom hand's a little bit more fluid, right? If I'm taking a slap shot, my hand's gotta go lower. If I get my hands in tight, my hand's gotta move, right? So your bottom hand moves a little bit more, but if I was in a perfect scenario, I usually say an inch or an elbow and an inch. Boom, inch up, then that's where I grab my stick. So there's a little bit more flexibility. If you see somebody not holding the stick the right way, correct it because it matters and it doesn't seem like much, but this is not gonna make you a better hockey player than that one. Fox Valley Hockey Training.